Welcome to this edition of Supervisor's Report with David Haubert. I'm your host, Dr. Marshall Kamena. Welcome.
Thank you, Marshall,
Supervisor.
and thank you for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you, but by gosh, I see that you brought a guest.
I did bring a guest, Marshall. This is Jia Yi Gong, and she's a student intern this summer. Yes,
Nice to
and
meet
I'll
you.
let her say about herself. She's all the way from Qingdao, China, and she's with my office for a couple of weeks. And since we have this monthly TV show, I welcome her, and we'll say a few words with her.
Oh, and I hope all your relatives and friends will see you so that maybe we can have a satellite station in your hometown.
Yeah, okay.
But tell us about yourself.
Okay, and my name is Jia Yi Gong, and I'm from Qingdao, China, and I'm a recent senior student in my school, the Qingdao Academy, and I think I've been here for interning about half month. Yeah, and my topic for the research is the mental health, and I'm very appreciate come here. Yeah, I very like these places, like the culture and the environment. And I think over the past few weeks, I learned lots of skills, and I have a valuable experience, and I'm very excited to explore more and learning during my time here. Yeah.
That's wonderful. I'm very curious, and I bet the people watching us are too. How did you come to find this position, or did they find you?
According my institution, Johnson.
But how did you know about Supervisor Haubert?
Yeah. Yes.
That's the way you did.
I'm famous, Marshall. You know that, right?
Oh, it was possibly on one of your trips?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And have you met some of his staff? I bet you have. They're good people, huh?
Yeah, of course.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing here?
Actually, I come here doing my research. I need to write the research paper, and in the end, I got the oral presentation of the research about the mental health.
Is that right? Well, will you have a chance to share that with everybody before you go, before you finish?
Yeah.
What kind of living quarters do you have here in this valley of ours?
Yeah, I live in my homestay, and I think the homestay's parents is very nice for me.
Do you have any favorite thing that you've been working on that you enjoy?
Yeah, of course. I think over past few weeks, Mr. Haubert picked me to meeting many famous people, and the very expression thing is when Monday the press conference when the Auckland. Yeah.
We went to the Oakland Roots press conference at the Coliseum, Marshall, and she got to see a live press conference when we announced the Roots soccer would be playing in the Coliseum.
I'll bet that was very exciting.
Yeah, super exciting.
Have you worked with Melissa Hernandez at all?
I think, yeah.
She's certainly a big part of that office.
Yeah, and I also met the mayor of Auckland.
Well, when you go home and talk to your family, what things would you like to say to them about your visit here?
Oh, of course, the valuable experience of my internship, like meet many famous people, and I come here do many volunteer work and my research of the mental health.
Is there any one project you're working on now where you can share with us that it's not confidential?
Yeah, and I think when I apply the university, I will write that in my essay.
She's what?
She's going to write about it in her essay as she
Yeah.
applies to university.
And what university will you be applying to?
I think Emory University will be that I will apply, and some UC college, like UCB, UCLA.
Marshall went to UC Berkeley.
Wow.
Yeah, and his father went to UC Berkeley.
And my grandfather. And the tuition was $11 a semester, and he thought that was way too much.
Wow. That's
But
great.
our colors are blue and gold. And so she's going to be the campus also?
So I did take her briefly as I had a project to do in Oakland. It was near UC Berkeley, so we had to visit the Berkeley bookstore and drive around the campus and have lunch in Berkeley. So she has visited UC Berkeley very casually.
I hope you enjoyed that time.
Yeah, thanks. I will.
Is there something else you'd like to share with our viewers that we haven't covered? Something you'd like to say about yourself?
Yes, I think about my hobby. I like Chinese and I like painting. I have a leisure time. Yeah, and I also like play in Chinese with my friends, and I learned the swimming. Yeah, so when I have some time I can enjoy, I will go to swimming or play Chinese.
Marshall, you know, it's really good to have a student here from China that we can see a typical teenage student wanting to learn, wanting to grow, wanting to be friends with their fellow classmates and wanting to experience new things. And we know that we have received many students coming from China,
yes.
But there's a big effort to send more American students also to experience China. We can learn from each other here in America, but also by sending students there to China. As you know, I've been to China many times on trade missions, but I think it's a great experience. Anyone that has the chance, especially at the student level, to take a few weeks and go visit, it's a great thing to do.
Do you have an iPhone?
Yeah, I have iPhone.
And are you able to keep in contact okay with your family?
Yeah, sure.
Well, this has been a wonderful, wonderful experience. You're always lucky you get the good people.
Yes, that's right, Marshall. Jia, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, me too. Nice
We're
to
going
meet
to
you.
take a short break. We'll be right back on this edition of Supervisor's Report in just a moment. Welcome back to this edition of Supervisor's Report. We're here talking with the Alameda County Supervisor and Vice President of the Board, David Haubert. Welcome back.
Thanks, Marshall.
What topics or announcements would you like to share with us today?
There's two things, Marshall, I want everybody to recognize and celebrate. It is back to school month and week, and this week and next week, students will be making their way back to school. I call that Mom's favorite day of the year. And so everyone probably notices the morning traffic commute has changed, especially if you live near a school, as I do. So be careful out there, watch the kiddos. But let's wish everyone a great back to school. The other thing is, I'd like to congratulate the city of Livermore and Pleasanton and the owners of property that was located previously in unincorporated Alameda County, near the Jack London Square area, that will now become a new industrial center, making way for the home of future Lamb Research, which will be creating new jobs, giving Lamb Research a great place for people to work, and then also add to the job base of the city of Livermore. I'm really excited about that. We approved it last month at LAFCO.
It's about time, because you and I were in kindergarten when they started it.
I think so, Marshall. It takes a long time. We know that.
And Lamb Research really got a nice foundation in the Livermore area.
Oh, yes.
They basically were in Silicon Valley, but boy, they were quite a force, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, they're a great company, and we're happy, tickled pink to have them.
Yeah, aren't you proud?
Yeah, very proud.
The Coliseum, that's in everybody's mind. Can you give us an update?
Another sense of pride, Marshall. We announced recently that Roots Soccer has consummated an agreement with owners of the Coliseum property, and I sit on the Joint Powers Authority, which owns the Coliseum. They'll be playing their 25 soccer year in the Coliseum, 17 home games, where they're moving from Cal State East Bay into the Coliseum, so it's a bit of an upgrade for their experience. We wish them well in their season. If they win their games and go to the playoffs, we'll have extended games, so we have provisions for that. The Coliseum will be a great home for Root Soccer, and if it works out well, for the first year, they could even hopefully maybe extend and have a permanent home here in Oakland. As the A's leave Oakland, we're able to bring in Root Soccer as another professional sport.
With regard to the ownership, that's something that seems to be fairly concluded now, is that right?
Well, Root Soccer is owned by many different investors.
No, I mean the Coliseum.
Yeah, the Coliseum is also in flux. That's a great point, Marshall. The city of Oakland owns half, and Alameda County owns the other half, but they've sold it to the A's in an extended escrow, which hasn't closed yet. So what would happen, basically, the city of Oakland has agreed to sell their half to the African American Sports and Entertainment Group. The A's and the county have agreed, or are in the process of agreeing, to sell their half to African American Sports and Entertainment Group. So they will be, hopefully by next month maybe, we can announce that they've consummated assembling both pieces together. And Marshall, we all know if you can assemble all ownership, 100%, into one decision maker, they'll have the ability to make great things happen. It's much easier when you have one owner. So a little bit premature, but next month maybe we'll be able to say for sure that it's much more further along, and to congratulate the African American Sports and Entertainment Group on assembling the entire Coliseum property. Then they can go develop it into great things.
Well, in so doing, they had to acquire it ultimately from two entities that you just mentioned. And when I was looking at the figures, it looked like one of them got a little bit better deal than the other, and I'm just wondering what's up there.
Yeah, so that's a great point. One is you have to consider the position that the seller is in, and they need to generate some money to fill the budget gap in the city of Oakland. And the other thing to consider is when you finally assemble both pieces together, there's a premium there, and so oftentimes there's a premium paid for assembling the fees. To be very clear, we as a Board of Supervisors stay out of the dealings of other entities, and so I don't know the negotiations that went on between those parties, between the City of Oakland and the A's. But indeed, as you report out, they paid a little bit more for one piece over the other.
Just checking.
Yeah.
You know, you're the chair for the Alameda County Board of Supervisors Transportation/Planning Commission. That seems like a big deal to me. Could you give us a summary of some of the things you're working on?
So the Transportation Commission, I'm a member of the Alameda County Transportation Commission, vice chair. Next year I'll be the chair. And we take Measure B and Measure BB funding. That has, those are two back-to-back measures approved by the voters over the last 20 or so years. A half-cent sales tax gets distributed back to the cities of Alameda County to do various transportation projects. I'm really excited to talk about the fact that in the city of Livermore, they're going to be able to, and if you look at their capital improvement program, you'll notice that reconstructing Preston Avenue with drainage improvements from west of Oakland to near South Front Road is a project that's on the books for them. They want to replace and rehabilitate the Bluebell Drive box culvert bridge that goes through the Altamont Creek, allowing water to pass through the culvert there. They also have a project to rehabilitate Airport Boulevard and I-580 and First Street and I-580. They also have many projects to replace and add slurry seal to the top of the asphalt roadways, which helps protect the road from further deterioration. So all of these projects add up to millions of dollars. They require transportation funding. Cities and counties raise their own funding through the sales tax measures that I talked about, but also they get grants for other projects. In the city of Dublin, they're looking to replace bicycle and pedestrian improvements, to do signal upgrades, to improve the downtown Dublin street grid network. And so the city of Dublin has many projects as well, as does Pleasanton. But one project I'd really like to talk about is a regional project, and this is connecting a corridor which is North Canyons Parkway in Livermore and Dublin Boulevard, which ends at Fallon Road in Dublin, connecting that last mile and a half. We've talked about it before. That all comes from the Alameda County Transportation Commission. That particular project is a regional benefit. The whole region benefits from that thoroughfare going through. And so it will be likely a partnership between the City of Dublin and Livermore, or it'll be a project of the City of Dublin or the City of Livermore, one or the other, or I think both. Really, that project is on hold until the voters of Dublin take up a measure that was recently placed on the ballot, asking the residents of Dublin if they would give the power of authority to their city council to annex new land into the City of Dublin. You know all about this, Marshall, because you know you were party to some of the predecessor agreements. And so we're finally at the point, and we were in kindergarten when that first started talking about it, right, Marshall? We're finally at the point where we're going to start talking about making some real moves.
Well, I thank you so much for your leadership. You've done so much from what some might call a black eye in this, but I won't, into an absolute jewel. And you know what, without you, Charlie Santana could never have done this.
I'll take that, Marshall. Thank you. That's a compliment. That's a compliment. Thank you.
Wow. Every year, the world's greatest barbecue takes place in your backyard and front yard and side yard by your offices, and it is fabulous. Please share some of the events.
This year was bigger and better, Marshall, than ever. I think I want to really thank the Livermore Rodeo for donating the tri-tip, and Colby Stace and his family for cooking the tri-tip. I want to thank One Nation Dream Makers for bringing the roasted pig and side dishes. I have to thank the Alex Lucero Band. They did a wonderful job. And really one of the highlights for me was Mark Ibanez, who did the MC duties. A highlight of the event always is the First Responder Awards and Trophies. This year we enhanced the experience by producing for every awardee. We did a big giant poster board, 2-3 feet wide, and it had their photo and it had a write-up of all the things that they did. We honored 14 first responders. Some of them were partners the two of them got an award for being recognized. But basically every first responder agency in my district, police, fire, paramedic services, and they all got a trophy, and they all got to keep the write-up of their, yeah, it was a poster board, again, 3 feet tall, their picture and a write-up. And people got to walk around. They were on easels. They could see and read. Families of the awardees came and took photos with them. It was a really, really special experience. The Carpenters won the chili contest, voted on by the people. So they're really excited because for the first time that I can remember, Alameda County Fire did not win. And so it was a great time had by all. As you know, that's always a campaign event for me as well. Very successful. I have to thank all the sponsors and everyone that bought tickets, Marshall, including you. Thank you for contributing. We're going to keep doing that every year.
When it first started out, it was fabulous. Yeah. This is when your grandfather did it.
It's been a while. 38th annual this year.
And it's absolutely fabulous. And God bless you.
Thank you.
Going from there, let's talk about California Wine Month.
Well, Marshall, September is California Wine Month. This year we're going to do something new. I don't know if we've ever done it before. I've seen it done elsewhere, but we've partnered with the Livermore Valley Wine Growers Association and with the Livermore Downtown organization, business community, to create a program whereby anybody during the month of September that brings a bottle of Livermore wine, they'll have the corkage fee waived. So we want people to go visit the wineries, pick up an extra bottle of wine, go have dinner on First Street in downtown Livermore, which you created, Marshall. Congratulations. You can now see how wonderful that is. But we have participating restaurants, many of them. All the wineries in Livermore are eligible. Any bottle of wine from a local Livermore winery, I will cover the corkage fee.
No.
This will be a great way to spur wine sales and to spur restaurant meals. So you could be in a winery and realize, I can take this bottle and go get dinner. Or you could be in a restaurant and realize the next time I come back in, I need to go buy a winery first and bring a bottle back in. And so we think it's a great economic development thing to celebrate September, California Wine Month.
You know, that sounds like it makes so much sense. It makes me wonder, did you encounter any red tape in the concept?
Nothing's easy, Marshall, but I have a great staff. And so this is where Brandy at the Wine Growers Association, Ruby,
great name,
at Downtown, and then my team, Lindsay, and of course Melissa and Sean, all chipped in on how to create the idea and then really how to make it happen.
That Sean never sleeps.
He's a good one.
Announcements. Gosh, do you have any upcoming events you'd like to talk about?
You know, Marshall, I just want to say that we're going to head into the fall. I think no real things to announce other than I wish everyone a safe back to school, and we'll see you next month.
Before we go, you got to tell us a little bit more about your grandchild.
Oh, well, he's getting big, Marshall. In fact, my wife just got to visit him. Henry Ross Lundeen is now teething, and I'm going to go see him during Labor Day. We're really excited for him, and he's just doing great. Mama is doing well, and just blessings to all.
Well, that ends on a wonderful note. I'm Dr. Marshall Kamena. Join me for the next episode of Supervisors Report with David Haubert, right here on Tri-Valley TV. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for coming.